The moment Angel Reese thought would crown her as basketball royalty just became her biggest nightmare. What was supposed to be a triumphant signature shoe launch has turned into a social media catastrophe that's got fans predicting her kicks will be sitting in discount bins faster than her missed free throws. The WNBA star's first signature sneaker drop with Reebok has sparked the kind of brutal fan reaction that destroys careers and leaves brands scrambling for damage control. Angel Reese's September 18th launch of the Angel Reese One was meant to establish her as a legitimate force in basketball culture. Instead, it exposed just how disconnected she is from what fans actually want. The shoe hit the market with 3 colorways called Diamond Dust, Me Bounds, and Receipts Ready. Names that sound more like rejected makeup palettes than serious athletic gear. But the real disaster wasn't the quirky naming scheme. It was the immediate fan revolt that followed. Social media exploded with brutal honesty the second those images dropped. Fans weren't holding back, with comments flooding in calling the shoes straight up ugly. The criticism was swift and merciless, with people saying they looked like something you'd find marked down at a clearance sale. One viral comment predicted these would be $14.99 at TJ Maxx and Marshall's within a week, and honestly, that might be generous. The design, featuring Reebok's Mobius line inspiration and wing-shaped exoskeleton upper, clearly didn't translate to something people actually wanted to wear. The visual mockery was instant and devastating. Fans weren't just criticizing the aesthetics, they were questioning whether Reebok had completely lost touch with basketball culture. Comments rolled in suggesting the company should have done better for someone of Reese's supposed caliber, but even that felt like giving her too much credit. The shoe launch was supposed to mark Reebok's triumphant return to basketball relevance, but instead it highlighted exactly why they'd been irrelevant for so long. But the design backlash was nothing compared to the explosion that came when Angel Reese made her most tone-deaf comment yet. In an interview promoting the shoes, she had the audacity to compare her brand to Jordan's legacy, saying she wanted people wearing Angel Reese ones everywhere just like they wear Jordans everywhere. The delusion was staggering, and fans absolutely destroyed her for it. The Jordan comparison sent social media into an absolute frenzy. People couldn't believe the level of self-importance required to make that statement. Comments poured in questioning her sanity, with fans asking what substances she was on to think her shoes could ever reach that level of cultural impact. The most savage responses pointed out her complete lack of self-awareness, noting that Jordan's shoes became iconic because of legendary performance and cultural transcendence, not because someone decided they deserved to be famous. Fans weren't just laughing at the comparison, they were genuinely offended by it. Michael Jordan revolutionized basketball and created a brand that became synonymous with excellence and aspiration. Angel Reese comparing her debut sneaker to that legacy felt like watching someone put their finger painting next to the Mona Lisa and claiming they're both art. The backlash was so intense that many wondered if her PR team had completely abandoned her or if this was some kind of self-sabotage. The reality check was brutal, but necessary. Fans pointed out that Jordan's brand succeeded because of undeniable greatness both on and off the court, combined with innovative marketing and cultural timing that created a perfect storm. Reese's attempt to manifest that same energy through wishful thinking and bold statements just highlighted how far she is from understanding what actually creates lasting brand appeal. Adding fuel to the fire was a viral rumor that suggested Angel Reese had originally pitched her shoes to retail at $1,000. While this claim was later debunked as unverified gossip, the fact that so many people believed it said everything about how disconnected from reality her brand positioning had become. The rumor spread like wildfire because it felt entirely plausible given her other statements and apparent delusions of grandeur. The $1,000 pricing rumor, even though false, exposed the underlying problem with Reese's brand strategy. Fans were ready to believe she was that out of touch because everything else about her approach suggested someone who had completely lost perspective on her actual market value. Whether she actually suggested that price point or not, the fact that people found it believable was more damaging than if it had been true. The timing couldn't have been worse for Reebok's already struggling basketball division. The company had recruited Shaquille O'Neal as president and Allen Iverson as vice president specifically to rebuild their basketball credibility, and Angel Reese was supposed to be their centerpiece signing. Instead, her shoe launch has become a case study in how not to enter the signature sneaker market. Reebok needed a home run, and instead they got a swing and a miss that left them looking desperate and out of touch. Reebok's decision to fast-track the Angel Reese one from its original 2026 release date to September 2025 now looks like a panic move, rather than responding to overwhelming demand. The brand was so eager to capitalize on whatever momentum Reese had that they rushed a product to market without properly testing the waters. The result is a shoe that feels forced and inauthentic, lacking the organic cultural connection that makes signature sneakers successful. The company's positioning of Reese as the face of their basketball revival now seems like a massive miscalculation. While she may have social media presence and controversy, that doesn't automatically translate to the kind of aspirational appeal that drives sneaker sales. Reebok needed someone who could make their brand feel relevant again, but instead they got someone whose controversial persona generates headlines for all the wrong reasons. Social media turned into an absolute roasting session that showed no mercy. The memes started flowing immediately, with creative fans finding countless ways to mock everything from the shoe design to Reese's Jordan comparison. The online destruction was so thorough that even her supporters had trouble defending the launch. Comment sections became brutal battlegrounds, where reality met delusion, and reality won decisively. The most devastating aspect of the social media response was how it revealed the gap between Reese's self-perception and public reception. While she clearly sees herself as a transcendent figure worthy of Jordan-level comparison, the audience sees someone whose confidence far exceeds her actual impact. The disconnect was so obvious that it became impossible to ignore, turning what should have been a celebration into a public relations disaster. Fans weren't just criticizing the shoes, they were questioning everything about her brand strategy and decision-making. The launch became a symbol of everything wrong with modern athlete marketing, where self-promotion and social media presence are mistaken for genuine cultural influence. The backlash felt like a collective reality check from fans who were tired of being told they should care about someone who hadn't earned that level of attention. Looking at successful signature shoe launches reveals exactly where Angel Reese went wrong. Athletes who build lasting sneaker brands typically combine exceptional performance, authentic cultural connection, and organic fan loyalty that develops over time. Reese tried to skip all those steps and jump straight to icon status, and the market ruthlessly rejected that approach. The market doesn't lie, and it's telling us that Angel Reese's brand simply doesn't have the foundation to support a signature sneaker line. While athletes like LeBron, Durant, and Curry built their shoe empires on championship-level performance and genuine cultural impact, Reese's foundation seems built on social media controversy and manufactured hype. The difference in reception couldn't be more stark. Even within women's basketball, there are better examples of how to build authentic brand appeal. Athletes who focus on consistent excellence and genuine connection with fans create the kind of loyalty that translates to commercial success. Reese's approach of demanding attention rather than earning it has backfired spectacularly, leaving both her and Reebok looking desperate and out of touch. The Angel Reese One launch will likely go down as a cautionary tale about the dangers of putting brand ambitions ahead of actual achievement. What started as Reebok's attempt to reclaim basketball relevance has turned into a reminder of why they lost it in the first place. For Reese, this disaster exposes the gap between her social media presence and her actual influence, forcing a reckoning with reality that was long overdue. The most telling aspect of this entire debacle is how it reveals the difference between genuine star power and manufactured controversy. While real icons build their brands through excellence and authentic connection, Reese's approach of bold statements and forced comparisons has completely backfired. The market has spoken loudly and clearly, and it's not interested in what she's selling. This launch failure doesn't just hurt Angel Reese's individual brand. It could derail Reebok's entire basketball comeback strategy. With their centerpiece athlete becoming a laughingstock rather than an inspiration, the company faces serious questions about their decision-making and ability to read the market. Sometimes the biggest failures teach the most valuable lessons, and this one should be studied by every athlete and brand looking to build authentic cultural relevance in today's unforgiving marketplace.